Few years ago, I've been working in a startup here in Vienna. We needed an instrument to move our research forward, but we couldn't afford it. So we applied for funding and waited for months. What we didn't know is that there was another startup here in Vienna, 3 kilometers away, who had the same instrument sitting idle most of the time. But we never knew each other. And that experiment never happened. But the experience stayed with me. Here in Europe, more than 70% of the lab instruments are sitting idle most of the time, while the SME or startup in the next door cannot afford to buy them to move their research forward. And that's the gap LabWallio wants to fill. I'm Hamid Reza Mansouri, a life scientist for the past 15 years. I did my PhD in Teuwien and my postdoc in Medical University of Vienna, so I'm from the bench side. And I really understand how does it feel when you want to do an experiment, but you cannot afford to buy the instrument. So the problem is not a theory for me, but more of a problem I have lived. That's why I started building LabWallio. I'm not alone. I am teamed up with Ali Najafzadeh, our CTO, who is the AI engineer, entrepreneur, who built several platforms before. Now we are actively searching for someone who joins as the marketing and sales manager, because I believe marketing and sales is as important as the research and development. Around us, we have a really strong advisory team. Professor Hedayati, who is our scientific advisor, he has built several biotech startups and he knows the problem himself. Dr. Vinod from Down Bio, Vienna Biocenter, who is working as a regulatory officer and he is our regulatory advisor. Kambis Kwansa, the head of a startup at VKO, who is our strategic advisor and has a deep connection into Austrian startup ecosystem. The idea we want to develop in AWS first incubator is actually turning LabWallio from something working manually to something works on its own. Now everything is done manually. All the connection, all the emails, all the phones, one company at a time. We already partnered with Fermify, an Austrian startup, and we are in active discussion with several others. As you can see, the problem is real, but what we don't have yet is a platform with great pricing, the insurance layer, and also the legal layer, which makes every transaction trustworthy without us checking everything manually. And why AWS? Actually, we believe that we still have to learn a lot about the pricing, about how to make the business model, and what will happen actually if there is a real company or real money involved. So the workshops, the mentors who have done this before, and the chance to get tested honestly by the people who have seen it before is exactly the support we are looking for. So as you can see, we have leave the problem. We want to make the solution properly, and we would be grateful for the chance to do this with AWS. Thank you so much.